Thanks, Patrick, and thanks for the opportunity to say thanks, to say hello and come by and speak. I unfortunately can't stay very long. We've got the FAA administrator in front of the committee, and he's coming to talk a little bit about what the FAA is doing right now and their oversight, and obviously making sure that the United States stays the gold standard for aviation in the world. And so we're going to have him before the committee here in just a few short minutes. But I thought I'd bring you up to speed. I'm sure Rick has done a good job doing that as well. I think he spoke just earlier this morning, which we continue to have a great relationship. Rick is a good partner to have when it comes to being chairman of the Transportation Committee. And our committee continues to do a lot of great bipartisan work. Last year we had huge successes. We passed a bipartisan pipeline safety bill out of committee. We passed a bipartisan Coast Guard reauthorization out of committee. We passed FAA reauthorization unanimously out of committee, and then hit a huge benchmark leaving the floor of the House, still waiting on the Senate to act, which is frustrating because we can't continue to have these short-term extensions, extension after extension. The Senate has got to do their work and act on that FAA reauthorization, because there's so many great things in that bill for our state DOTs and for our smaller airports, medium-sized airports, bigger airports all over the country, which includes also increasing AIP, which is something that I've been working for a long time. But we continue to do some great work, vigorous oversight on the IIJA, which is something that is very important when you're pushing as much money out as is being pushed out. There's obviously the opportunity for a lot of waste and fraud in the process, abuse in the process, and we want to make sure we keep that to as much of a minimum as we possibly can. We were successful working with our Senate colleagues, Senator Capito leading the effort on the Senate side to get the Federal Highway Administration to rescind their directive when it comes to expansion and obviously when it comes to deciding the needs of every state in terms of highway and construction, bridge construction. That's been very frustrating. Unfortunately, we aren't giving the states enough latitude to make those decisions on their own. Every state is different. Every single state is different, and you all ought to be able to make the decisions on how that money is spent when it comes to expansion and how that's going to be treated. You'll also see, which is coming up. I'm not going to be a spoiler, but we are working on the Federal Highway Administration again with the new greenhouse gas proposal that's out there when it comes to setting benchmarks for the states. I think you'll see something this week come out on that, again, working with our Senate colleagues to push back. These are both things that were offered in the infrastructure bill, and they were rejected on the Senate side. These are things that are not in the bill specifically, so they shouldn't be done through executive order. They should not be done through executive privilege. And so that's one of the things, or two of the things actually, that we're pushing back on and going to continue to push back on. So a lot of good work in the committee. Again, I am going to thank publicly, and I do all the time, Rick for his great partnership when it comes to working on the committee. He's just a pleasure to be able to work with. And when you have a committee that as large as our committee, sometimes it can get a little tough on both sides of the aisle when it comes to trying to get everybody wrangled and moving all in the same direction. But so far we've been able to do that. We are coming up on WRDA. We have a deadline of September 30th of this year. We have started that process, and we should have a good bipartisan bill that comes out of the House. We have also started on the next highway reauthorization that's just around the corner. I don't have to tell you all how quickly those things come up. I am seeking a waiver in terms of chairman of the Transportation Committee on the Republican side, assuming we win the majority, and that's assuming that. If we do, then I will be seeking that waiver from the Republican Steering Committee to be able to chair the committee for 2 more years after this. So with that, again, thank you all for the opportunity. Patrick, thanks. Where'd he go? Thanks for the introduction. And it's always It's great to work with Missouri DOT. It really is, and I learned that when I was in the legislature, when I was in the state senate and the state house, and I've come to realize it even more so when it comes to obviously chairing the Transportation Committee on the federal level. The state of Missouri is doing some great things, and I'm very proud of what they have done in terms of getting revenue and being able to fix and maintain the infrastructure, the highways, bridges throughout the state of Missouri, and that's as a result of Patrick's leadership. So thank you for what you do, and thank you for what all of you do, and let's keep our highways open, let's keep our airports open, let's keep our ports open. So thank you all very much.